All right. Well, welcome. Today, our goal is to be able to divide decimals with a remainder using our place value chart that we see here to help us understand that. So we're going to do some modeling with the place value chart. Interestingly enough, we're actually going to be working that traditional algorithm as well. So our numbers that we're going to be working with to start us out, our 6 and 72 hundredths divided by 3. Okay, and often you guys see it written like this and you completely understand how to read it. What becomes tricky is when we move it into that division house standard algorithm method. So when it looks like this. Now, the 3 goes out here. Tricky, huh? And the 6 and 72 hundredths goes in here. So it almost feels opposite of what the equation looks like. The way we would read this is we would start over here with our 6 and 72 hundredths divided by 3, okay? Because we're looking to see how many times does 3 go into 6 and 72 hundredths, okay? So I've got our place value chart over here, and I'm just going to lay out our number under the division house into this place value chart, okay? And I'm going to make sure I have dots. I'm going to use that dots method for each digit. So I have 6 dots here in the ones, 7 dots here in the tenths, and 2 dots here in the hundredths. Okay, and I'm going to toggle between being on the place value chart over here and being down here on this standard algorithm. So you're going to kind of work back and forth. You'll see over here on this place value chart that we have these 3 boxes here on the bottom because that's where we're going to divide into. That's the piece that we're going to use to do that division. So I'm going to divvy up these ones into these 3 boxes as evenly as I can. 1 in each box. Oh, now I have 6. 2, 4, 6. So that means 3 went in there 1, 2, 3 times. So I'm going to put that 3 up here. 3 times. Oh, that's not correct. It didn't go in there 3 times. It went in there 2. Okay. So we're going to put the 2 up there, right? There's 2 per box, which makes 6. So then we're going to subtract out, and we always bring our decimal straight up when dividing, just like kind of the way you do with addition and subtraction, just automatically goes straight up. Okay, and then now we're working on this 7. Okay, so I have my 7 here, and I'm going to start dividing it out. Well, based off of what we learned on that last one, right, I can only put 6. And I've got this 1 left here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade that over to have hundredths. And this 1/10 makes 10 hundredths. So there's my 10 hundredths, right? And I'm still working with that same number. This went twice, so I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 up here, which I was at 6 down here, and I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. I'm going to bring down my 2. So now I'm doing 3 into 12. And so I'm going to take these dots and I'm going to put them in each one. So I've used these 3. So I'm just trying to keep track for myself. I've used these 3. I've used these 3. And now I'm using these last 3 right here. Okay, so I've used all of them. And there are how many dots in each box? Well, 4. So I'm going to put my 4, I'm not writing here, right there we go, right there. So I have my quotient. This is equal to 2 and 24 hundredths. That was a terrible 2 right there, we go. All right, so really simple way to kind of model and show and understand what we're doing when we're dividing. I'm going to go ahead and clear my whole screen of writing, I hope. I didn't quite get all of it circled. And we're going to try another problem. So we'll practice another problem so that you can kind of see this occur and what it can look like. Okay, so let's go ahead and try out, let's see, let me get my pen here. Let's try out 6 and 72/100. Oh, that was terrible. I did not even kind of write that correctly. My hand got ahead of my brain there. So let me start over here. We're going to do 6 and 72/100 divided by 4. Okay, well, when I look at my place value box, I'm not going to get a new one out, but I realize I don't have 4 here, so I'm just going to draw in that 4th one. Hopefully you guys are good with that. Okay, so I've got that 4th additional one, and I'm going to lay this out with 6 dots here, 7 dots here, and 2 dots here, right? And I'm dividing it by 4. I'm going to go ahead and write out my traditional algorithm. Remember, the 4 goes outside the division house because we're saying 4 goes into 6 and 72/100 how many times? Or 6 and 72/100 divided by 4. Okay, so different way to look at that so that you're getting it and saying it and getting it in the correct order. We're going to do the same thing that we did last time. We're going to see how many of these dots without going over I can put into each of these boxes. So I just used up these 4 and I have 2 left, and I can't evenly put them into those boxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exchange these. They exchange out, each one exchanged for 10 tenths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, got my 10 dots, right? Because those exchanged out. Now, that means that this only went into there once. I have a 4. I'm going to subtract. I get 2 dots left over. Oh, look at that. There were 2 left over here. I'm going to bring up my decimal always to keep that place value accurate, and I'm going to bring down my 7. Okay, now I've got 27 dots over here and 27 over here. So I'm going to distribute those dots out, and I'm just going to start going in groups of 4. So that was this group of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 3 here. I'm going to snag this one that was right there. 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to snag this group of 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do this group right here of 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be this group right here of 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be this group right here of 4. Oh, and I have 3 left over. So how many dots are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be the same in all of them, so that 6 is going to go up here. Oops, I was moving my face instead of writing. That 6 is going to go right here. Okay, and that means that I have used up 6 dots here, 6 dots here, 6 dots here, 6 dots here. That's 24 dots. So 24 dots, and I'm going to subtract, and I get left over 3. And magically, what do you know? I have 3 over here. These 3 are going to move over here, and for each one of those 3 that moves over, I have, you're correct, 10. Okay, so I need 3 groups of 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Good. And then I'm going to divvy those out amongst those 4 boxes. So each time I'm going to do groups of, that one's kind of supposed to be down there, 4, right? So I have this group of 4 here, and I'm just going to keep going with this method where I'm using up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Divvying those out as we go. That's this group up here. It's this group right here. And then I have my last group. Okay, so there's my last group. So now I can count and see how many dots are in each box. 2, 4, 6, 8. That means an 8 goes up here. How many did I use in all? Well, I used all 32 of them. So my 32 would go down here, and I would get that 0. And I would be done with that problem, okay? So that's a 0 down there. So we can use those boxes to kind of show when we're dividing with a decimal how that's actually happening and how those numbers get organized and divided up. So you're going to go ahead, and this was a little bit longer lesson, and I only did 2 problems, but you're going to go and work on your lesson 14 in your math journal. All right?